G'day and welcome to the NRL Round 18 preview. There's 8 rounds to go until the finals now. This is basically the third and final stage of the season. Origin's done and dusted. It's now the run into the finals. Things are getting serious. Teams are getting desperate. The stakes are raised. It's on. So anyone in the bottom half of the table, look out. Now's the time to make your move. And let's start with the table, which this week is brought to you by Classifieds. The Gold Coast Titans gave me a call today and said, can you help me with finding a coach? And I said, yeah, no worries. So the table today is brought to you by the Gold Coast Gaffer. Now basically, any potential NRL coaches out there, do you like the sun? Tick. Do you like the surf? Tick. Do you like having September free every year? Tick. Well, carpe diem, seize the day. This is the job for you. It's a great gig. If you want to take a bunch of Aussie battlers, overpaid, underperforming, out of the cellar and head for the dizzying heights of 14th or 13th, this is the job for you. Look, we'll even throw in the set of steak knives once we remove them from Garth Brennan's back. And look, what the heck, we'll even take them down the Pacific Ocean at Surfers Paradise and just give them a clean. Wash the stench off them. Okay? Apply if you want to. Trent Barrett, yeah, maybe just keep gardening, mate. Anyway, let's quickly go to the table. There's been some big changes. The Storm rocketing away out in front, 6 in front of the Rabbitohs. Look at the Raiders with all those Englishmen up to 3rd now. And the team to watch, the Panthers, they're now into the 8. Unbelievable. The Sharks are slipping. Cowboys are rising. And the one team that I think you watch out for are the Broncos. Don't write them off yet. Now, I'm going to run a line through the Dragons down. Anyway, let's get on to it. Round 18. And we are starting at Suncorp Stadium, the Broncos versus the Bulldogs, featuring the first female NRL referee, Belinda Sharp. I salute you. Well done. Great achievement, great milestone. Inspiring women of future generations coming through. Get involved in the NRL. Now, the Bulldogs, yes, they've won their past 2, and this is a massive, massive game for them. They've got off the bottom. Well done, Bulldogs, but this is going to be a hard one. The Broncos need to win 6 of their last 8 to guarantee finals footy. Can they do it? I don't know. We're about to find out. They need to get on a roll, and I seriously think they're the one team that can get on a roll and make it. Herbie Farnworth is in for his 3rd game straight. And this time he will play centres because Corey Oates will be on one wing and Jermaine Osako on the other. So well done, Herbie. He's kept his place. Now, I like the MILF Darius Boyd switch. I think that's starting to work. Darius Boyd's playing much tougher. The MILF is playing excellent football at fullback. He's a Suncorp specialist off the back of Payne Haas, who's been outstanding at prop. I think the Broncos, if they can't beat the Bulldogs, they may as well give it up. So they're going to win this game. Watch for Seguiaro off the bench to give them impetus. Broncos by 16. I think they're going to belt the Bulldogs and start making a real play at the playoff positions. Now, we move to our second game. And it's the Friday night, 6 o'clock kickoff. We're in Wellington in New Zealand. The Warriors host the Sharks. It's a home game that's away for the Warriors. So work that out. Either way, Sean Johnson is taking on his old team. And this, again, is a crucial game. The Sharks are sliding. They've lost 4 in a row. They're battling. The Warriors, they're on 15 points. They're in the same position as the Broncos. They've got to come flying home with a wet sail. In other words, they've got to win this game. I'm really looking forward to the Nikorima versus Johnson battle. Now, the Sharks have got a couple of players out. Dugan's out. Wade Graham's out. And I actually think the Warriors at home can get this. The Sharks have slid out of the 8, and I think they're going to lose this as well. That'll be 5 in a row. Warriors by 2. I know I'm going to hate myself having tipped the Warriors, but hey, I'm a risk taker. Warriors, sure things. Now, let's move on to the Panthers versus the Dragons out at Panthers Stadium. The Panthers have won 6 straight. They're gunning for 7. Dragons fans, English fans, James Graham is back. You beauty. But guess what? He's playing at lock. Mary McGregor, what are you thinking? I think Mary's got a bit delusional. I don't know if he's been hanging out with Brad Fittler having some of his cosmic coffees. Mary McGregor came out during the week, the Saints coach, and actually said the Dragons can win the premiership. Mary also thinks he's sporting a 6-inch afro on top of his head. Mary, what are you thinking? The Dragons, I'm writing them off. They're gone. The Panthers, they've won 6 straight. Nathan Cleary's back to partner James Maloney. Billy Kickow. And watch Brent Naden, the young fella from Wello. He's going great guns in the centres. Him and Brian To'o, the rookie winger, they are smoking it, and they're going to smoke the Dragons. Panthers by 8. I think they're going to do it and make it 7 straight and keep rising up that table. Okay, let's move on to Super Saturday. And we start off with an absolute ball terror at the SCG. The Roosters versus the Knights. Kalen Ponga's back. So's Teddy. What a mouth-watering prospect. Tedesco versus Ponga. 1v1. Oh, you just watch just for that fact alone. Now the Knights, they've slipped down to 7th. But unfortunately for the Knights, the Roosters have dropped a couple of games recently too. They're down to 4th. The Roosters, though, keep the faith, Roosters fans. Yes, you were pretty poor last week, but it's post-Origin. They've got their team back. Ryan Hall is in jersey 5. So that's great news for Ryan Hall. The Rhino is carrying nearly 200 metres a game. I'd love to see him get into an open space and really show us his pace. I keep saying it every week, but this week he's going to score, trust me. The Roosters, they're on the bounce back, and that spells bad news. Keary, Mitchell, they're going to be too good. Mitchell Pearce up against his old team. He'll be flying high after his Origin victory. But he came crashing down against the Bulldogs last week, and he's going to come down with a massive thud here. Roosters all the way. I think they're going to be too strong for the Knights. Clemmer, if he can dent them, they're a bit of a chance, but I think the Roosters, this is where their stage 3 of their campaign starts. They've got through Origin. They're reasonably positioned. They know they need to go up a gear, and it'll start this week. And I actually think the Roosters by 10. Now, 5:30 Saturday, English alert. It's the Raiders welcoming the Tigers to the nation's capital. Josh Hodgson is back, baby. He was brilliant last week at his scheming best. He set up 3 tries. He's running out of dummy half. When he's running, you know he's confident in his body, and he is looking really good. I'm expecting him to lead the way again. No Ryan Sutton. He is out. That calf strain that kept him out last week, he's out another week. But Elliot Whitehead and the classy John Bateman are both featuring. Chris McQueen is on an extended bench for the Tigers, but I don't think he'll feature. The Raiders at home, led by their very strong forward pack. I think they're going to have too much firepower. Nick Cottridge is out though. Some called it a spear tackle. Ricky Stewart fired up. Funny. It's unlike Ricky to fire up. He didn't think it was a spear tackle. Look, it was a dangerous try that went wrong. Nick Cottridge is a great guy. It was just a tackle that went bad. He's out 3 weeks, took the early plea, and that was the right thing to do because you wouldn't want to fight that. He was the first send-off in a couple of years, I think. The Raiders at home, I just think the Englishmen on the edges, they're going to be too strong, and with Josh Hodgson pulling the strings, it's the Raiders all the way. I actually think they're going to do a bit of a job on the Tigers. I'm really looking forward to the Jared Croker Essendon Masters battle, and it's the Raiders by 14. Now, Saturday night, and I've got disappointing news for Rabbitohs and English fans. There's no Burgeye yet again. Sam Burgess was named last week. I don't know what's gone wrong with his recovery because he's missing again. I thought he'd be a sure thing to play this week, but he is not even named in the 21, so Sam is at least a week away, and so is Tom. The Cowboys, that gives them a real good chance here. They upset the Roosters. They were brilliant last week at Central Coast Stadium. Put them at home. Tamalalo, without the Burgess boys there, Damien Cook's going to have less momentum to play off, and that gives Tamalalo and company smaller bodies to go through. Michael Morgan's been named on the extended reserves. I expect him to feature in the halves with Jake Clifford, and I think they can set this win up for the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys at home can get the job done. It's going to be hard, but a spine that features Scott Drinkwater at fullback, he's made such a difference with his speed, and Melbourne Storm smarts that he's brought with him, combined with Morgan, Clifford and Jake Granville off the back of the massive forward pack. The only way I can see the Rabbitohs getting away with this is via Damien Cook shooting through the middle and giving some good ball for Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds to do their thing. I think if the Cowboys win the forward battle, they're actually going to upset the Bunnies. They need to win. They're just that much outside the 8, and I think they're going to do it Cowboys by 4. Okay, Sunday. And this looks like the mismatch of all mismatches. The last place Titans against the first place Storm. Now quickly, Gold Coast fans and English fans know Callum Watkins. He is training with the first grade team, but he's got a little injury. So I'm not sure what the injury is, but he is not playing. And what is also giving the Titans fans hope, other than the Storm resting all their origin players, bar Dale Finucane, is that Garth Brennan has got the bullet. Now, normally teams respond to a new coach with increasing their effort and output, and I expect no different from the Titans. Unfortunately for the Titans, the Storm are coming to the theme park capital of Australia, but the Storm have the best ride going, the bellyache buster. The Melbourne machine will just keep motoring on. They may have 4 origin players out, but they're going to chew up the Titans and spit them out the other side. Cameron Smith will lead the way. Jesse Bromwich and Nelson Asafa-Mona will lay the platform. The backs will do the rest. Watch Jerome Hughes. He is starring at fullback. The Storm to get the job done by 4. Now, Sunday, we finish off with an absolute classic, the old rivalry from the 80s. It's 5v6, the Seagulls versus the Eels. Massive game, both on 20 points. This is basically a 4-pointer. You win this one, you jump away from the chasing pack. You lose it, you get sucked back in. And now the 80s rivalry suits the mad professor Desi Hassler, the Manly coach, perfectly. He not only taps all his punches, his team tactics into his Commodore 64. That's about the Commodore 64 came out about the year that Desi's Buffont was fashionable. But Des, forget for all his crazy quirks, he's a genius. He's got Manly firing through the Travojevic brothers, DCE, off the back of Fanua Blake and Marty Tapau. I expect Manly to take down the Eels. Eels were great last week, but they battle away from Bankwest. I think Manly at home will get the job done. Seagulls by 8. So there's your winners for this week. There's my tips. Enjoy your rugby league. I'll see you next week. Maybe. I'm going to be in Phuket in Thailand. Later.